You know, I've not heard one thing here that says any of these departments haven't done a good job throughout the time that we've spoke. In all the years that I've been on the committee, for the 2 years we did, all I keep hearing the compliments of how great they do. Now all of a sudden, two people who've never had involvement with recreation come up with the idea that they're really not doing a good job. We could do a better job by centralizing everything under one head. Well, I got news for you. It doesn't work. But let me go. It's my turn now. All right, Parks and Recreation has never been solely a Parks and Recreation department. Historically, Parks and Recreation have gone hand in hand as a whole, having been a positive attribute to the residents of Hanover Township. To maintain the success of the department, there is a definite need for direct daily interaction between the park staff and recreation staff, which would be lost if the park staff is separated. The exceptional quality of our special events and the programs the special events are due to the coordination, cooperation, and respect that has been fostered between Parks and Recreation. And those programs continue to grow each and every year. So sit tight, folks. I got a lot to present tonight. The program staff is directly involved in our special events programs. From the moment the programs are conceived to its planning stage and its implementation. Note, this would be impossible to coordinate without the daily contact with the same responsible staff. Many of you know from attending our special events the sincere effort that is put in by all members of our Parks and Recreation staff. And that is what ultimately sets our special events apart from other communities. It is important to note that the park staff does more than just perform its job of doing a task. There are many instances when a call is received by one of the sports or civics group of the high school or anyone noting a problem, change, or adding requests that must be implemented in a timely manner. There may be residents who call relevant to an unanticipated park problem dealing with safety that must be addressed immediately. I understand that there may be a perceived benefit to combining departments. I strongly believe that any work efficiency anticipated by the Department of Public Works unfortunately results in a work deficiency in Parks and Recreation. And if you think that's not true, go look at Luca Field, go look at Denville's Field. They have the combined staff. They do not address the details, not one bit, as to what our folks do. No one can tell me how well manicured our fields are, how beautiful they are, and how the Parks and Recreation staff. By the way, this last snowstorm, I seen Bobby and a lot of these other out there snow plowing, so I don't see where the combination doesn't work. All right, by working together as one unit. All right, but two separate and distinct areas of roles and responsibilities. The staff at Parks and Recreation came up with the concept of flexible hours to eliminate much of the overtime necessary for our special events and picnics, which in itself is a tribute to the operation of that department. They went ahead on their own to come up with this thought of the flexible hours. Expertise amongst the staff have developed a feeling of ownership and pride for their programs as well as our parks and facilities. This pride has built up years of equality and relationship with our youth groups, administrators, as well as other township civic functions, to include Knights of Columbus, American Legion, Rotary, Scouts, Little League, football leagues, and all other groups within our town, including the seniors. Just take a look at the job they did on those displays that were taken out of Epstein's that are used every time at our senior party. They're absolutely beautiful. And guess who did them, folks? These folks did, the Parks and Recreation staff. So my compliments to them on that. Now I get another item here is, here's an issue of saying, here's the benefits of it. But there is, on this whole issue of benefits, to me, so why isn't that just happening now? Okay? A greater pool of people to execute projects. Okay, so we got it. Two groups work together. You mean to tell me we don't have two department heads that don't work together, don't talk to each other, and can't figure out that, geez, maybe we could use some people here, some here when it's slow. I think that happens. So I don't understand that. It would create a dedicated landscape maintenance crew. Well, I guess we got that now. Dedicated maintenance. Shared equipment and tools will save money. Well, what says we can't share equipment and share equipment and tools and save money? The men will punch in at one location. Hello? What's the problem? I mean, that can't be done now? The men will have a lunchroom at the Public Works garage. Well, let me tell you something, folks. If that's going to be a reason for changing everything and turning everything upside down, we got a problem. Equipment will be maintained by our top-rated mechanics, and that's fine. That should happen. But why can't that happen just the way it is now? We will have 2 men with pesticide license. There isn't anything on this thing that doesn't speak of shared services. The shared services you talk about right here now is exactly what we do in the county. My involvement in the county, I have used the motor services folks and the county buildings and grounds to do everything in my warehouse for the voting machines without going outside and costing me any money. They've got the equipment, they've got the people. You got the time? Yes, bring them down, we'll do it. We work together as a group. How can we save money for the county, which ultimately saves money for the taxpayers? All right, and let me say something else too. I understand the issue of saving money. We've worked last year very hard on the budget. We cut $400,000 out. We were able to save some money. We're looking this past year, this committee worked very hard. So it isn't like this is only one way that we're looking at the possibility of saving money. I just think it's a possibility of taking 2 distinct departments who are performing an excellent, super job, put them all together and centralize them, and in a certain period of time, I will assure you, like some of the other towns, they'll look to decentralize again. Randolph compliments us on what a great job we do because they too have the same type of operation, and they have never any idea of ever changing it. Talk about more supervision to keep a watchful eye on assignments and projects. Implement early planning of men for special events. Shifting certain jobs when needed. Pool of men working together to put up trees, Christmas, Halloween, Easter decorations. No elimination of park maintenance. Well, you know, if I listen to all of this, why it's happening now, from what I understand. I mean, if somebody's going to try to tell me that this is not happening, and then we talk about how we're going to save money on this thing. Well, let me tell you something. If you look at our public works supervisor, if he's going to be responsible for this whole myriad of people, okay, the salary he's making, I go to other towns, Madison, East Hanover, and Montville, which is on the record, okay, they're making an average of $30,000 more. So, folks, I can tell you right now, the person that gets that position, if that were the case, is not going to be satisfied that with that huge responsibility to be accepting the salary when his counterpart in the next town at the lowest rate is making $111,000, the next one's making $113,000, and the next one's making $128,000. So guess what? He's going to want more money too. I got a list of fields. These are all the list of the fields we have that these folks at any given time really do a great job of maintaining them, as well as parks, recreation, and the activities that we deal with. I don't know how many of you folks get to see the year-end report. All right, I mean there is parks and recreation functions on here that. Let me just. You know, as the economy continues to struggle and the cost of providing for all our needs grow, it becomes clear that Park and Recreation that they had to find ways to deliver the quality programs and service to the residents within the constraint of the current financial situation, and they have. Okay, they have, and this is all done with not only Parks and Recreation, but it's done with a commission that directs the activities and looks at the oversight of what takes place with this committee.